Hi, welcome back to another episode of Val's Corner. I'm your host, Valerie Bropleh. Welcome back. So welcome back to episode 2. Thank you guys for joining me again. So today episode, we're going deeper in this episode. For those of you who are watching, you can see I'm in a comfy chair today with pillow. We got a tissue. You never know. There might be tears. I don't know. But we're getting deep today. Like the Holy Spirit, He wanted me to dig deep. So it would be more of an extension from my testimony, and some more in depth of like what happened. We're talking about depression and anxiety. So deep topics, but we're gonna get into it. But before we start the episode, I have a couple like house cleaning announcement to do. First of all, last week I just want to apologize. I forgot to say my church name. It was first episode jitters. I was nervous, but yes, I go to Hope Worship Center here in Aberdeen, New Jersey. I am so sorry. I said the address, but not the church name. But yes, I go to Hope Worship Center, a place for everyone at 5 Airmine Lane here in Aberdeen, New Jersey. We have some exciting things coming up for Hope. Like we have 2 big events. First of all, we have our young adult service coming up on March 17 here at church. For all my young adults out there, trust me, y'all don't want to miss it. For even like older people, y'all still don't want to miss it. Like we have something installed, something you've never seen before, and it's gonna be fire. Like trust me, you want to be here on March 17 at 10 a.m. All right. And then after that, our Women of Hope presents What's Your Cup of Tea presents I'm Salty. We have our annual women's conference on June 29th. I'm going to get my phone to make sure all the detail, I don't miss anything. So it's on June 29th, Saturday at 1 p.m. here at Hope Worship Center. And we have some fire panelists. These women are like amazing women of God. You don't want to miss it. We have an early bird special going on to get your tickets. So if the early bird special ticket is $45 per person. But if you also want I'm Salty t-shirt, I'm getting a shirt, and those shirts are fire. It's going to be $65 with the shirt per person. So you want to get those early bird special, or else if you miss it, price is going up. So $45 just for the ticket, and it's $65 if you want a shirt. So I hope to see some of you amazing ladies there. I'm excited. If you were there last year, you know the Holy Spirit was in that place. Not a single soul left not feeling the presence of God. So join us again on June 29th at 1 p.m. Thank you. All right, let's get into the episode. So let me get comfortable. Let me shimmy around here. But so yes, today we're talking about all things depression and anxiety. So I feel like I'm not the only one that have experienced depression or anxiety personally, because I feel like it's a big thing. But for me, like I said in my testimony before, I got saved in 2020. And we all experienced 2020. It was one heck of a year. So getting saved during a time where you couldn't be around people, you couldn't even go to church. I'm a people's person. I love talking. I have a bubbly personality. So not being able to be with people or be around friends, or like all the struggles that came with COVID, it was really hard. And the fact that the Lord chose to save me during that time, we had a little beef with that, but we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna get deep in that. He did it for a reason, for a purpose. So yes, I got saved in 2020 in January, and I was home. But before that, before I even said yes to God, I was the kid that always felt alone. Like growing up, now I'm outgoing and I'm happy and I'm bubbly. But before, as a kid, I was always by myself. I didn't have much friends. I was the oddball. I stayed by myself really, but I was still like depressed. I was like, I didn't know it was depression at the time, because growing up in Africa, people don't know what those things are. So I came to America, so there was transition from that, like not feeling like enough, not feeling like you have enough friends. Even in middle school, like I was always surrounded by people. Like I in middle school, like I was my people person, so people are like drawn to me at times. So even like middle school, I was always hanging out with people. I had friends and things, but I always still felt alone. Like I still felt like I didn't like fit in with anyone, and I was just like that feeling of loneliness. It's traveled to me all through high school. And for those who knew me in high school, like I was bubbly. Like you would have thought I was living my best life. Like, I would have so many friends. I was in different friend group. I would go into the parties and stuff. Well, the parties that did happen in high school, it wasn't that much. But yeah, but I still always went home feeling empty, feeling sad, feeling like I couldn't talk to anyone, even though I had all these friends. So that feeling never left until even like I got to college. So there's even though I'm around people, but I'm still feeling alone by myself, like whatever. That feeling didn't go away even when I got in college. So 2019, it was a hard year for me, especially being away from home. I was experimenting with things. I got drunk for the first time my freshman year of college. I didn't even know what that feeling felt like. I was mixing things that shouldn't have been mixed. So I got drunk my freshman year, and it was weird. Like, I was what drunk people do, you know. I was partying, I was having fun and all that stuff. But once I got back to my room and it was just me, like, I cried. Like, I sat in my room, and I remember, like, I sat, like, on my bed because my roommate wasn't there at the time. And I just started crying. Like, I didn't know, like, I didn't know if it was the effect of the alcohol, because, you know, it's my first time. So, but I went back to my room after all the festivity was over, and my head over here spinning. But I was like, I felt, I don't know how, I can't even really explain, but I just started bawling my eyes out. Like, I was crying and I was crying until I cried myself to sleep. And I woke up the next morning and, like, nothing happened. Like, I was going about my business. It was like, it's just another day. But that feeling that I felt after, like, when I was in my room, like, that emptiness, that heartache, that sadness, it was like, it felt different. And I feel like it was just because I wasn't thinking so much. But just crying in my room by myself. And for a while, I did that. Like, whenever I was all alone, like, when I wasn't around people, I wasn't around my friends, I would just sit in my room and cry. And for the longest time, I didn't know why. I was always sad. Like, how can you be sad? Like, I never understood it at first. I was like, why am I so sad? I have friends. Like, I get invited to parties. I go home, I see my family, I have a great family, but I never knew why I was so sad, like, all the time. And I knew it was these thoughts in my head and stuff. So, but also it's like, I felt like I had no reason to, like, feel sad, because, like, I felt like I had a great life. So I was dealing with that feeling for a while, like, that feeling of emptiness, dullness, feeling like you don't fit in with anyone, feeling like no one accepts you. That feeling didn't really ever go away from me until I kind of said, like, I fully give my life to Christ. Because in high school, for my high school people who are watching, so I had a panic attack in high school. I was just feeling, because I didn't know how to process my emotions growing up. Sometimes I still don't, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like I just perfected it, but it was because of God. But yeah, so in high school, I had a panic attack. Like, I was full on, like, freaking out. Like, it happened so random. Like, I was walking to class, and I just felt this wave of emotion come over me, and I didn't know why. And I started bawling my eyes out. Like, my best friend at the time, was trying to console me, and I couldn't stop crying. I was crying uncontrollably. I was like, I couldn't breathe. Like, I was full on having a panic attack. And then they took me to the guidance counselor office. And from what I was told now, I was saying things like, I wanted to end my life. I told my guidance counselor, but crazy thing, I don't remember saying all those things in the moment. But they told me I had to go to psych ward. Because clearly I told her some things that, frankly, I don't even remember saying. I think I blacked out. But I told my guidance counselor at the time, like, I wanted to end my life. I told her I attempted to end my life. I had a plan. Like, I told her the plan. I clearly attempted it. And I did attempt suicide once, like, in high school. But I guess while I was having my panic attack, I told her these things. And when I came out of it, I didn't remember saying, like, I thought she was lying, honestly. But looking back, I feel like I probably did say it, because I guess I didn't. That was my way of letting it out. Like, that was my cry for help, but without really knowing it, because I blocked out from that conversation. So, they recommended me going to a psych ward. Realistically, that's protocol. I couldn't go back to school until I got cleared by a psychiatrist. So I had to call my grandma. She came over to pick me up, and I lied to her. I won't even lie. I straight lies. Like, Grandma, I never said that. They're lying. They made it up. It's probably, I was just talking about my best friend at the time leaving me because we're getting ready for college and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'll probably say that, feeling alone. But realistically, I needed help, but I just didn't know how to ask. And growing up African, that's not something people deal with. You don't deal with, like, we don't really deal with mental health. That's the thing. So I lied to her, and she told me to the psych ward, and I got evaluated. I also lied to the therapist. Realistically, I needed help. I needed a therapist. But I lied, and I passed the test, and I was allowed to go back to school. And that was that. I had another panic attack, but I didn't black out. I was just overwhelmed, and my teacher made me go to class at the time in high school. I'm not gonna say her name, but I was pissed at her. She made me go to class after having a full-on panic attack. So I struggled with panic attack for a while, even in college. Like, I would just have random either panic attacks, anxiety attack, where I just couldn't breathe, and I just kept feeling this way, and I didn't know why. Like, I couldn't pinpoint why I was feeling all these things, why I was feeling utter aloneness, why I was depressed, why I was always crying, where I never felt like my friends understood me, where I never felt like I fit it. I just didn't know where these emotions was coming from. So, in college, also, yeah, I did another attempt. That one I feel like was more serious because, yeah, that one was more on the serious side because I honestly think it was God who saved me because I should have been dead. Yeah, I should have been. So it was after another, I don't even know what night, but I was sitting in my room and I just felt numb. Like, I honestly felt numb. Like, I felt nothing. And I was just crying. And I was like, I can't take this no more. I don't want to do this. Like, I'm tired of this pain. Like, I just didn't want to feel anymore. So I actually wrote a letter too. It's in my notes somewhere in my phone. I wrote a letter saying bye. Okay. There's tears. Oh, I'm not gonna cry. But yeah, I wrote a letter. I had a plan. And I actually went through with it. Like, I sat there after I wrote my letter, after I was crying, and I took a lot of pills. I won't lie. Yeah, I took a lot of pills. And I forced myself to go to sleep. And now looking back, I know it was God, because honestly, I really should have been dead. Like, the amount of pills I consumed, no one should really, no one should have been alive after that. But, so, you would have thought that would have been my wake-up call to, like, seek some help. It wasn't. I just kept spiraling. I was drinking. I was, like, just not to feel. Like, I was going to parties. I was doing things I shouldn't have. I was hanging out with people I shouldn't have. Just because I was lost. I'll be honest. I was lost, and I didn't know how else to express that. I wasn't talking to no one. I wasn't telling anyone these feelings. It was just inside of me, and drinking was my way of not feeling for those couple of hours. And I was like, woo, you know the feelings. When you're drunk, it's like you on cloud nine, but you always crash. I was always that person who always ended the night crying, even when I was drunk. Like, I always end up crying at the end of the night. So those, like, 3 hours that I wasn't feeling anything, it always hit me afterwards. I don't know why I still kept drinking, but that was to numb the pain, I guess. So yeah, then sophomore year happened. My friends left me. Well, my friendship ended. I'll say that. No one left, whatever. The friendship ended. We grew apart. That was a situation that got blown out of proportion. And also, I also think that was God, like, separating me from those people so he can bring me to who he wanted me to, like, be. So that's when I started hanging out with my friends. And then I said yes to yes to God in 2020. And then 2020 happened. I was still depressed because I felt like saying yes. In my mindset, when I felt like when you say yes to God, like I said before, I thought everything was going to be good. I thought I was going to be healed. I thought this feeling was going to go away, this emptiness. Like, I thought I finally was gonna be at peace. No, I feel like it got worse when I got saved. I won't lie. Because during COVID, you couldn't be around anyone. I wasn't in church, so it's just like I still felt alone. Like probably most people felt that way during COVID, but like I still felt like alone. Like I didn't feel like God was there. I'm like, how are you gonna tell me to do this path? And honestly, I did get mad. Like I was like, how are you gonna lead me down this path during the worst time of the year where I couldn't be near people, and all I had was really just God and my family. But like I really wasn't talking to him like that. I don't talk to him about my feelings. So all I literally had was God. And for some reason, I still wasn't opening up to the friends I did have, like my forever friends. I still wasn't opening up to them. So all I had was my journal, my Bible, and God. But I still felt alone. Like I still felt like I was doing this by myself. But realistically, God was there the whole time. He's been with me throughout every phase of my life. Like realistically, I had 2 attempts. I should have been dead. Like I really should have been dead. But he kept me, obviously, for a reason. So it's just like, even though I didn't know better at the time, I still felt alone. Like I felt like all those like emotions. Oh, I finally found out why I was so depressed. It stemmed back from my childhood trauma, all those things of not like actually having, like I have my parents, but like not actually living and having that tradition parents like relationship. So most of that stemmed from that, like not having my parents in my life, like most people do, like because growing up you see your friends with their mom and their dad, and then like just because I don't know, I know now like not every family looks traditional, but like as a kid you don't know any better, like you want your mom and dad. So all those feeling like not always feeling alone, even not have people, it stemmed from like my parents and stuff. So